Mkhonto Wesizwe will be on the ballot on the 29th of May, and Jacob Zuma will be the presidential candidate for Mkhonto Wesizwe on the 29th of May. This is the worst case scenario for the African National Congress and even for new political parties, because it brings back an old contender who has a lot of popularity, a lot of love on the streets, and a lot of nostalgia for him into the election. And there were questions about whether or not Jacob Zuma would be eligible to become a candidate for the National Assembly, but those questions right now have been put to bed. So what happened? When the IEC published the list of candidates, Mkhonto Wesizwe had put up Jacob Zuma as its number one candidate. An objection was lodged because under Section 47 of the Constitution, if you have a criminal record of over 12 months, you are not eligible to be a member of the National Assembly. Mkhonto Wesizwe took this to the Electoral Court and they won. What was argued before the Electoral Court were a variety of arguments. Number one, a violation of political rights, because the right to become a political candidate, to contest, to be a political leader in a political party is one that is protected in the Constitution. Number two, that this would be a deprivation of the political rights of the supporters of Mkhonto Wesizwe. Number three, and this was a technical argument around the remission of the Jacob Zuma sentence. If you recall, Jacob Zuma was found in contempt of court in a very peculiar situation, because typically what happens is that if you are in contempt of court, you are taken to a court, and what then is ordered is a coercive order to mandate you to appear before the court you have to appear before. And then if you don't necessarily do that, then you will be found in contempt of court. And then a punitive order of imprisonment is then set into place. This was not done. Instead, what was done is that the Constitutional Court skipped ahead and then went for punitive order and a prison sentence, and that prison sentence in and of itself was over and above what is typical. But that's a story for another day, because the sentence wasn't supposed to be anything close to 15 months, but it ended up being 15 months. But as we all know, a lot of things unfolded after that, and that sentence was then remitted by the president. Now, that word remission is a peculiar word, and one that was argued about in this particular sentence, because it means cancellation, it means removal. And if indeed that definition does hold true, then the sentence of 15 months no longer can be counted against Jacob Zuma. The last argument that was made was that the Electoral Court in and of itself was not the right the Electoral Commission in and of itself was not the right forum to make that particular determination, because this was something within the jurisdiction of the National Assembly and not the jurisdiction of the Electoral Commission, the IEC. And this is what was argued. So the judgment has not fully been published in terms of the reasons behind the decision. So what we have right now is the order of the court, and that order is that the appeal succeeds. And what must happen is that Jacob Zuma must be returned onto the party list as the lead candidate for his particular party. So as things stand right now, Zuma is back for Mkhonto Wesizwe. They have been winning, and they've been winning at a critical moment, at a critical time, where the momentum has now shifted towards them. There's something in leadership called the law of momentum. In business strategy, when you will hear about the momentum, and it's now evident that Mkhonto Wesizwe has this momentum by taking the first fight of trying to remove Mkhonto Wesizwe from the ballot altogether. ANC showed their hand that they were afraid of Mkhonto Wesizwe, and that they were genuinely worried about the prospects of this party led by the very popular Jacob Zuma, who has a lot of people right now saying they miss the way things were under his term of office and they want to bring him back, and others who feel as if he was hard done by Cyril Ramaphosa and the Cyril Ramaphosa faction, and others who feel as if he has been targeted unfairly for things that are, the collective faults of the ANC. And he has maintained that he is still somebody who's within the ANC, and that Umkhonto weSizwe is seeking to correct the ANC and fix the issues that have been created by the Cyril Ramaphosa ANC. So that first court case created a lot of momentum, a lot of attention, a lot of energy for Umkhonto weSizwe. But there was still this question about, is Zuma eligible? Some people were saying he's not. They were very loud on the internet. He's not, whatever the case may be. There were questions, legitimate questions, because of the remission of sentence and also because there was no trial, right? And this is also something that was argued, and it was pointed out in the dissenting judgment of this particular case that this was a violation of Zuma's rights, because to send someone straight to prison without going through the process in a court where there is no appeal is a constitutional anomaly. And Khampepe herself acknowledged in the judgment that she was in unprecedented territory. So this was all argued. But now there is more momentum for Umkhonto weSizwe. I had previously said that I don't think that they're going to get what the polls were indicating, 12%, 10%, those numbers. I still don't think that they can get those numbers. But it's very clear that the momentum has shifted towards them and that they're going to be energized going into this next stage. We're 50 days away from the election. 50 days, that's 7 weeks. It's a very short time. And for the Umkhonto weSizwe party to have won 2 critical victories so close to voting day is something that's definitely going to be giving ANC a headache right now. So Zuma has shown that he's able to still outsmart, outstrategize his political rivals. And make no mistake about it, this is a chess move that he has been anticipating and one that he has been successful in executing. So we're past opening stage of this particular game. We're in the mid game now, and we're going to have to see how things fall. We're not at the end game now of this chess match, but we're definitely going to have to see what happens in the coming weeks, and it's going to be critical to see how different things unfold. But definitely right now, the election is heating up. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. What do you think? What do you think about everything that's unfolded and Jacob Zuma's latest victory? Let's have a conversation.